some courses of Microsoft, and because of that, it feels like we are going to have a series of workshops being held in a matter of around 1 or 2 months. So the last workshop we had was based on two basic subjects on of the cloud, that is Azure fundamentals and data fundamentals. But the session that we are going to have is slightly different from what we have seen till now, right? So the topic of this workshop is Power Platform fundamentals, right? So basically, we will let you know what exactly Power Platform is, how this concept came into picture, and how is it different from conventional application development. Right. So, and how can we leverage the power of Microsoft and its services so that we can create applications that are not only for domestic uses, business uses, or it can be enterprise level, right? So with the set of this workshops, we are going to have 3 sessions, and the content of these workshops have been divided into these 3 sessions, and we will talk about the various components of Power Platform. How does Power Platform as a whole come into picture, and the features that are there in the Power Platform, right? There is again a lab associated with this piece of course, and that will try to cover as far as possible. And I hope you all got the training keys so that you can follow us along, or you can do that later also. But the whole idea of this course is to get you an understanding of what Power Platforms is. All right. So I'll just brief you through. I mean, orally, I'll just brief you through the course content. So basically, we can see that in the Power Platform there are 4 major components. So one is Power Apps, second is Power Automate, third is Power BI, and fourth is Power Virtual Agents. So we'll be going through details of each of these, and we will let you know how these come in hand, right? They come in hand, and be able to create an application that is very similar, or probably can outsmart even uh, the conventional applications that we create, right? So what do I mean by conventional applications, right? So we talk about application development or web development also, right? And there are 2 specific terms that are very prominently used, that is front end development and back end development, right? So the front end development basically deals with the client side of the application, and the back end development deals with the server side of the application. And then there is associated things like APIs and databases. What is common in all of this is there is a lot of coding, right? So the amount of coding that these applications require to get developed, including the frameworks that they are built on, is immense, right? And the developers who actually build this application, it is not really feasible for small scale industries or small businesses to actually approach them and get the idea of application development, right? So at this point, what can be the alternative, right? So the alternative is Power Platform. And how is it different? It is different because the major component of any conventional application development, that is coding, is being removed from Power Platform, right? So there is hardly any coding, or there is minimal coding associated with Power Platform, right? So here we are going to create applications that are dependent on low code or no code basis. Okay. And no, so I can see that there are some messages stating that there is nothing being shared or you cannot see anything. Actually, I'm not sharing anything. This is just a one-to-one talk that I'm trying to do, right? So I'm not sharing actually anything. I'm just speaking on general sense of Power Platform, right? Okay. Yeah. So as I said, the main part of any conventional application is coding, and that is something we are trying to remove. Now, what is actually happening with this, right? What is the advantage of removing the coding part from an application and creating it on no code or low code basis? The idea is to incorporate or give the privilege or give the power to direct the frontline workers of a business, to create their own application, right? So the frontline workers of any business are the people who understand what their business needs, right? And they can develop an application or probably the problem statement of an application to best possible way, right? And that is the reason we want to give this power to business frontline workers to actually come up with a problem statement and to some extent create their own application, right? Now, how efficient that application is, what needs to be added, how can it become more efficient, how can it become more less redundant, or how can it make database use efficiently, all these things are a next step, right? But the major problem here is to understand what the basic needs of this business owners are, or these business frontline workers are, and how can they convert this problem into a problem statement and thereby solve it with the help of application, right? So what is the main constraint that they face, right? The fear that they have, the fear is code, right? They need to go through very what we call a very intense process of coding, right? Coding and debugging, and probably the main purpose of creating an application is defeated there, right? So that component we need to remove, and we need to find out an alternative that they can create their own application and uh, come up with a solution to their own business problems, right? So this is where Power Platform comes into picture, because it allows you to create application on a low code or no code basis, right? So it is simple. Wouldn't say simple, it has its own process, but it removes that component of coding and brings the ability of dragging and dropping elements in their application so that they take their proper position and work accordingly, right? And that is what we will try to understand from this set of lectures in this workshop. Okay. And with that, as I said, the content of the complete workshop has been divided into three sessions spanning in these 3 days: today, tomorrow, and Sunday. And what we are trying to do is cover these four components of Power Platform, which I mentioned, and we'll go into details of that and some of the features of Power Platform. All right. So I hope the idea of studying this course is clear, and let us dig deeper into what the course is and what are its components. Okay. So with that, I would like to I'd like to call Nalini, who is also a part of this workshop. She will be co-instructing this workshop along with me, and she'll be taking the initial part of this Power Platform application development through Power Platform, right? So Nalini, are you there?
Yeah, yes, I'm there. Yeah, yes, I'm there. I'm sharing my screen actually. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is your screen. All right, we can see that.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, I'm closing it. Now I will share the presentation. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah, hello all. Welcome to this Microsoft Power Platform course. This is PL 900 course from the Microsoft. Yeah. So we'll start. In this module, you will be going to see what are the components of and the features of Microsoft Power Platforms, and you will learn the value of using Microsoft Power Platform to create business solutions. And yeah, identify when to use each Microsoft Power Platform component application to create business solutions. So already, yeah, it was already discussed by others, right? There are four major components of this Microsoft Power Platform. They are like Power Apps and Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and Power BI. So yeah, the Microsoft Power Platform is composed of four key products. They are Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and Power Virtual Agents. So coming to Power Apps, so Power Apps provide a rapid low-code development environment for building custom apps for business needs. It has services, connectors, and scalable data service to allow simple integration and interaction with existing data. So Power Apps enables the creation of web and mobile applications that run on all devices with no code. Okay. So yeah, this is like brief introduction to Power Apps will be covered in detail in the coming slides. Yeah, coming to the Power Automate part, it lets users to create automated workflows between applications and services. It helps automate repetitive business process such as communications, data collections, and decision approvals. And so this automates the workflow between the applications and services. So coming to the Power BI, which is business intelligence, is a business analytics service that delivers insights for analyzing data. It can share those insights through data visualizations, which make up reports and dashboards to enable fast, informed decisions. So by using this business analytics tool, yeah, it helps in what getting the insights of your data. So Power BI scales across an organization and it has built-in governance and security, allowing businesses to focus on using data more than managing it. Okay, coming to the Power Virtual Agents, it enables anyone to create powerful chatbots using a guided no-code graphical interface without the need for data scientist or developer. Power Virtual Agents addresses many of the major issues with chatbot building. So it eliminates the gap between the subject matter experts and the development teams for building these chatbots. It removes the complexity of exposing teams of conversational what this building the chatbots. Okay. Yeah, this is like brief introduction to this.
Nalini, sorry to interrupt. Can you just zoom out a bit? Yeah, so the screen was not moving actually.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
is
can
it
you also
visible
zoom
now?
out a bit so that it complete slide is available on the screen?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, is it
Yeah,
clear
that's
now?
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's better.
Okay. So actually Power Apps, like using Power Apps, you can build no code or low code. This is brief summary of this low code applications, and using Power Automate, you can automate the process workflow from users to these applications. And also Power Virtual Agents, like it lets you to build chatbots and power this BI. This gives the analytics of the data. Okay, this data connectors and AI builder database will be covered in the coming slides. Yeah, coming to the business value of Microsoft Power Platform, it can easily adapt to changing workforce expectations by delivering custom collaborative digital experience, and become more agile by quickly building solutions based on your organization's rapidly changing needs. And it also reduces the extra cost associated with custom applications by leveraging low code or no code tools. Okay, this is the like it easily adapts to changing in the workforce expectations. And also, yeah, it reduces the extra cost also associated with custom applications by leveraging low code or no code tools. Yeah. So coming to this part, so build and consume solutions for web and mobile with Power Apps. So yeah, actually by using the Power Apps, you can build highly customized task and role-based Canvas apps with data from one or multiple sources. So you will see about this Canvas apps and yeah, other things, model-driven apps later. So it also helps in Power Apps like generate immersive model-driven apps starting from your data model and business process, consume fully accessible apps across the web and mobile, embedded or standalone on any device. So actually this about this the details of the Canvas app and model driven applications will be dealt in the coming modules. So now, yeah, coming to the Power Automate. Power Automate lets user create automated workflow between applications and services. It helps automate repetitive business processes such as communications, data collections, and decision approvals. So actually, yeah, it also can trigger actions tr- and grant approvals like custom eh, based on the custom action. It can also trigger the action based on the custom request. It can also trigger the action and can grant approvals and get notifications right where you work. And it can automate the legacy on premise or cloud based applications and services. So you can avoid wasting important productive hours on drafting the same email for weekly update or walking approvals through. Not only for that individual user, Power Automate also allows for the creation of enterprise grade process. Yeah, it automates. It basically helps in the automation. So it does not like, so you can spend your time on important works rather than doing the same thing, rather than wasting your time in communication or getting the approvals. Yeah, it helps users to automate the workflow between applications and services. So actually by this Power BI, using the Power BI, gain insights from your data regardless of where it lives with the Power BI. So yeah, you can, using the Power BI, actually we can gain the insights from the data regardless of where it lives. So it is a business analytics service that delivers the insights for analyzing data. It can share those insights through data visualizations, which make up reports and dashboards to enable fast informed decision. Power BI scales across an organization, and it has built-in governance and security, allowing businesses to focus on using the data more than managing it. So yeah, using this, actually Power BI connect to all your data and get a consolidated view across your business through a single pane of glass. Actually, it gives the insights of your data. Create and ad hoc solutions, live dashboards, and interactive reports that are easy to consume on the web and across the mobile devices. It allows to build the smart apps by infusing insights from your data and drive action with power of our platform. So it actually gives the insights of our data uh, by uh, by giving you the graphs and also the reports and dashboards. Yeah. So basically, you can mainly focus on data rather than using data more rather than managing it. So, so Power Virtual Agents enables you to build powerful chatbots. Yes, it enables you to build the powerful chatbots. Uh, enables anyone to create powerful chatbots using guided or no code graphical interface without the need for data scientists or developers. So Power Virtual Agents addresses one of the major issues with chatbot building. It eliminates the gap between the subject matter experts and development teams building the chatbots. It removes the complexity. Okay, just I'm going to this slide. Enable subject matter experts to easily create powerful chatbots using a guided no-code graphical interface, all without the need of data scientist or developer. So you can create your own chatbots by using this Power Virtual Agents without without knowing the deeper knowledge of like development knowledge or anything. Enable the virtual agents to act on the customer's behalf. Easily integrate your virtual agent with hundreds of services and systems out of the box or create the custom workflow. It can keep an eye on how you can keep an eye on how your virtual agent is performing by using conversational metrics and dashboards. Get in depth of this will be more clear actually if you start working on this virtual agents. Get in depth AI driven insights to improve the board performance. This part actually you can keep an eye on how your virtual agent is performing by using this conversational metrics and dashboards. So coming to this Dataverse part, so Dataverse is scalable data service and app platform. So which lets users securely store and manage data from multiple sources and integrate the data in business applications using a common data model to ensure ease and consistency to users. Dataverse is a common currency that enables the components of Power Platform to work together. It is a foundation that enables the consolidation, display, and manipulation of data. So till this, is it clear for everyone? Yeah, I will check like whoever has raised the hands now, we can take the doubts. Yeah, I think Sharanya has raised a hand. Yeah, yes, Sharanya, you can ask if you have any doubt. Yeah, any one of you, if you have doubt, please raise your hands.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, all these power tools, are they only applicable for small businesses, or can large businesses or an organizations can also use them?
Yeah, yeah, an organization also can use it. It is not
And
only for small businesses.
no,
Hello.
my question was I didn't frame it right. Like, do large organizations use these power tools, or do they focus on more on like traditional hard coding there?
See, yeah, actually, large business also use this because the flexibility and everything they are providing, no, right? Instead of
Mhm.
focusing, see, whoever has handling the data, they might be
Mm.
they, yeah, actually they might not get the insights actually, but they need help of some other data analyst or someone to get the insights of the data. But by using this Power Business Analytics or anything, even they can get what is going on through the data. So anyway, it like even the larger scale business also uses this these Power Platforms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, also to add that we can see that organizations like Heathrow Airport, right? So we have one of the case studies in this course, that is the management of Heathrow Airport, which is one of the probably the busiest airports there, right? So it is managing around thousands of what we call employees and around lakhs of passengers on the daily basis, right? So everything on the application that they work through is actually built from Power Platforms. So yeah, larger organizations also use this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Adarsh. So coming to the data connectors. So
Hello.
yeah, yes, please.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. The question that I have is related to your maintenance and the cost on a long run, right? There are licensing implications, right? So can you talk a little bit about that aspect too? Even though we are saving time upfront with low code or no code, there is for enterprises there is obviously a cost implication down the line, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that will come in the later part of this course. Yeah. this cost management and other things. So in this, actually in this first two modules, it is mainly focusing on the like what are power platforms and what it enables the users, what can be done using this. Yeah, it mainly focuses on these aspects. In the
Hello, ma'am.
coming, yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Ma'am, as you have already said in the Power virtual agent that it can work as an agent that like we don't need data scientists, right?
And actually power virtual agents, it enables you to build chatbots.
Okay, but you said like it is written in the slides that we do not use we don't need the data scientists to work like this. Like it
Yeah,
can remove that part.
yeah, not data scientists, like developers. Yeah, all without the need of data scientists or developers. So actually, so basically who builds this power chatbots and everything? Developers and the people who have this thorough coding knowledge, or those people, no. But using
Okay.
this power virtual agents, uh, without the need of subject matter experts, one can easily create powerful chatbots using some guidance. They will provide the guidance like how to, in the labs also you will get some guidance like how to finish that particular lab. Similarly, there will be some guidance in order to create that powerful virtual agents. If you follow that, you can build your own chatbot without the need of developers or the data scientists. Yeah.
Ma'am, like if it is a so much like flexibility and power to work for the companies and other things, then what is the discriminator between the traditional workflow and from this Power BI and Power platforms? Like why we
See,
need both?
okay, they will give some default things, but you want more customized things, right? Like everyone does not require the same thing, right? You want some customized things that required for your business. So yeah, during that time, you you might require help of others also, data developers, data scientists. So actually during that time, this developers comes into picture. But basically most of the solutions which are commonly business problems which are commonly occurring, that can be solved using this power platforms. But if you want some customized things, during that time, uh, you require this data scientist or developer. And yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Okay, any other doubts? If not, we can continue to data connectors part. So actually, I have told previously also, like power platforms is a powerful tool, powerful by its ability. What? Sorry, just a minute. Yeah, by its ability to leverage data across many platforms. To do this, components of Microsoft Power Platforms use connectors. You can think connectors as bridge from your data source to your app or workflow, which allows information to be conveyed back and forth. So connectors allow you to extend your business solutions across platform and add functionality for your users. This Microsoft Power Platform has more than 275 connectors with the ability to build custom connectors as well. Okay. Yeah, this is regarding the connectors. Actually, by using the connectors, it enables to leverage data across many platforms. We can use the data across many platforms. So connectors are available for use in multiple products like in Power Platform, Power Apps, Logic Apps, and custom connectors also you can create if you want. As an advantage of building custom connectors is that they can be used in different platforms such as Power Apps, Automate, and Azure Logic Apps. It allows you to extend your app by calling a publicly available API or custom API you are hosting in a cloud provider such as Azure. So you can create custom connector using 3 approaches. This also is not dealt detail here. Using a blank custom connector from an open OPI definitions or from a Postman collection. Actually, this is just an brief intro to what is data connector, but this is not being extensively covered here. So coming to this data loss prevention, compliance, privacy, and accessibility. So yeah, data is important, right? Data asset is in transit between the user devices and Microsoft data centers are secured. So data is secured in user devices and Microsoft data centers. Connections established between the customers and Microsoft data centers are encrypted, and all public endpoints are secured by using industry standard TLS. So yeah, in order to this data dot there are in order to prevent this data loss prevention policies can be scoped at the there are data loss prevention policies that can be scoped at the environment level or tenant level, offering the flexibility to craft sensible policies to that strike the right balance between the protection and productivity. So coming to the compliance and data privacy, Microsoft is committed to the highest level of trust, transparency, standard conformance, and regulatory compliance. So it protects our data, and also it also offers us this resources to manage GDPR compliance. That this GDPR, this all compliance will be dealt later. Yeah, accessibility in Power Platform. So Power Platform is accessible to all users, right? So Power Platform is accessible and inclusive to all kinds of users all over the world. An accessible Canvas app will allow users with the vision, hearing, and other impairments successfully to use this app. Uh, So coming to this summary of this, so Microsoft Power Platform helps to add value to any business analyzing, acting, and automating. So by using this Microsoft Power Platform, we can build custom apps in Power Apps, and also we can automate the processes with Power Automate, analyze the data with Power BI, and also we can build powerful chatbots with Power Virtual Agents. Like yeah, this is like brief intro to the to these major components of the Microsoft Power Platform. Yeah, this is like summary. Yeah, you can ask if you have any doubts regarding this, like apps, Power Virtual Agents, Power BI, or yeah, sure. Krishna has raised hand.
Ma'am, you
Yeah.
talked briefly about the tenants and the environments, right? So within a single tenant, how would we create multiple environments for a single app, like dev, test, QA, and prod for Power App?
See, practical part will be told later, like how to create, how to do this actually.
All right.
Okay, yeah. Any other doubts?
Yeah,
So basic,
could you provide us actual example which actually leverages this Power Platform to deliver its value? Any services?
yeah, that's what previously Adarsh also told, right? He through airport, you like uses this all the components of the Power Platform. They basically run using this. So Adarsh, would you like to add on this, like case study of the Heathrow airport thing?
Yeah, so what I mentioned was Heathrow is a very busy airport, right? So it is handling a lot of passengers and employees. So what happened was, there is the case study that we are talking about is one of the part of this course which talks about how Power Platform has helped them in minimizing certain things, right? So it's not that they are working on single app. There is a series of applications that they have created, and one example that I would like to give is So initially, what happened was there was a general rule book that was there for the airport, right? So I mean, what needs to be done in the aircraft or in the waiting room or whatever it is. So it was a set of books, set of book, and there were certain number of rules for that. And the problem with that was it was what we call as a handwritten book or a hard copy of the book, which was written in multiple languages. Right.
Yes.
So now the passengers coming from various different language background had to refer to the particular page of the book and go through what was actually there on the rule book, right? So I mean the rules for that particular airport. So what needs to be followed, how should they put their luggage in, and things like that, and what needs to be done in the aircraft, how do they take their ticket. So all these things were given in their own native language, and people from different language used to come, find that thing in the book and then respond, right? So that was quite cumbersome because as you can see the process, as I mentioned, right, people coming in, looking at the book, searching for the page where the language is, and then translating it, right? So that was one thing. But there was one person, I don't remember the name exactly, but the person, I think it was an Indian origin, so had a name somewhere like Saini. What you observed was, can this be automated? Can I have something that translate this languages into different, I mean, into the language that the passenger or the employee is trying to see, right? Basically, this is for employees. Sorry, the passengers, right? So they come in, they see the rule book in their own language. They select the language, and they can see the completely translated rules, right? So this was done with the help of power apps, right? This was one case, and later on this went on to multiple applications being created on similar smaller serving similar smaller issues, and like that. So that was one of the thing that I talk about in case study, right? So this is one thing. Anything else you want to ask about that? Okay. Sarath, your hand is raised. Anything else from your side?
Nothing, sir. I'm good.
Okay. Yes, Mahibukar.
Sir, I just want to ask that my Microsoft team, like the community which we have to join, like
Yeah.
it's not working. I don't know.
That
My
code.
my will talk about it at the end. So we'll take those issues. So right now I had put in the chat box the link to join the community. So you can just go ahead and just look for it. Okay. If not, we'll
Okay.
take it later at the end.
Okay, I guess Nikita, you can. Sorry, Nalini, you can.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Anuj. So yeah, coming to this Microsoft Dataverse. So Dataverse is cloud-based, low-code data service and app platform, which allows you to leverage the security and connectivity of Microsoft services. So Dataverse connects easily to all aspects of Microsoft Power Platform so that you can fully control, automate, and strengthen your business. So it has standard tables and columns as well as ability to easily define relationship between your data. So Dataverse was built for powerful and scalable solutions. So this is like introduction to the Microsoft Dataverse. In this module, you will be seeing what environments, tables, and columns are used in this Microsoft Dataverse, and explain the use cases and differences of Dataverse for teams, and describe what relationships are there in different types.
Nandini, sorry to interrupt. Actually, there is some issue with noise. Your voice is a bit low and there is background noise, I guess.
Okay.
Can you just adjust mic accordingly, or probably
Sure.
raise the voice?
Yeah, sure. Is it clear now? Is it okay now, Adarsh?
Yeah, I guess it looks fine. Just let me get the feedback from students.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it looks fine. Yeah, can go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. So actually, this is like, okay, I will
Yeah, and again,
adjust my
same thing. You
screen.
can just zoom out
Yeah,
a bit.
yeah, I'm adjusting my screen. So Dataverse is cloud-based low-code data service and platform, like which allows you to leverage the security and connectivity of Microsoft services. So Dataverse easily connects to all aspects of Microsoft Power Platform so that you can fully control, automate, and strengthen your business with standard tables and columns, as well as you can also it also gives the ability to easily define the relationships between your data. Data was built for powerful and scalable solutions. So actually it has 4 levels. You can see it offers the four levels of what ability for us, like it gives us security, and also it also has built-in logic. It also, like, we can store the data, like it also provides data storage. It has relationship databases and everything, like it also provides us the what place to store our data, and also we can connect also to other components of the Microsoft Power Platform using this. Yeah. Dataverse is designed to be central data repository for business data, and so using this, you can s- what it offers a security to your data. It has this authentication and authorization things also, and yeah, and there is also some built-in logic that enables us to have know the relationship between our data, and we can do all this data modeling and reporting. All this, the common data model is also there, which the things regarding this common data model will be seen in the later parts of the slides. It also has the relationship databases in order to store our data, like we can store our data in different forms using the databases, and it also enables us for like we can also do the integration of our data. So Dataverse is like a database for storing a set of standard and custom data structures called tables. It has like uh, we can store our data in standard tables. So the and also you can the each element of this table is called an entity, and you can perform some functional operations as well, and you can, so there will be some customized what entities to store your data. So actually there will be some format also. In that format you can store in that your data, or also you can use that customized entity. You can build your own customized entity columns or something like that, and you can store your data there as well. So common data model, you will see regarding the common data model in the coming slides. Basically, data using this Dataverse, you can what it offers like 4 levels of security, like security. It offers 4 levels of what. So basically, we can store our data, and also we can what it also helps in understand, like understanding the relationship between data, and also you can integrate the data to other all the platforms, all the Microsoft Power Platforms. You can integrate this data with all other Microsoft Power Platform applications. Okay. So previously it was discussed, right? The common data model, Dataverse implements the common data model. Actually, it has open source and the shared model that provides the semantic and consistency for data. You can see our data can be stored in the tables in the form of a table, which has the columns and the rows. And also it also allows makers to more quickly develop applications and integrators to more easily interpret across the multiple system. So actually you can, by using this common data model, we can integrate, we can quickly develop our application, and also integration is also will be easy. Like you can, using this, the data source can be like, we can integrate that with this apps, right? App one can use this data source one or data source, like basically it enables the faster, easy way of integration of your data. And a growing set of solutions and partners that contribute to the effort by implementing the common data model or extending with the industry specific domains. So you can have like your own customized data model as well by using the common data model which is provided, that enables you like for the customized solutions. You can build your own customized this data model as well by using the common data model. So Dataverse for Teams, it delivers a targeted set of features needed for creating apps, flows, and more within the Microsoft Teams. So yeah, by using this Dataverse, it delivers a targeted set of features needed for creating apps. And most of the standard tables provided with a typical Dataverse environment will not be present as part of Dataverse for Teams. So identify tables and columns in Dataverse. So types of tables. Actually, our data is stored in the form of tables, right? Can be stored in the form of tables. There are two types of tables. One is stand-up table and the other one is the custom table. The standard table is the base set of tables that are created for every instance of Dataverse database. So you can add more columns to any table, but you can delete columns from a custom table. So you cannot delete the columns, but you can delete the columns from the custom tables. In the standard tables, you cannot delete the columns. So coming to the custom tables are created for specific business applications. So all licensed users of Dataverse can access the custom tables if they are assigned proper security permissions. So columns basically store the discrete pieces of information within a record in a table. Every column has type which defines the way you store the data. Example, date columns. So this is similar. The format is kind of similar to this Excel, where the data is stored in the form of rows and columns. But here the thing is like, in the case of standard tables, you will get there will be some entities where in that columns you can store the relevant data only. Like for the date column, you should be able to store only dates, not other things. So some kind of default formatting is there. In the standard table, you can add more entities, custom entities, but you cannot delete the standard entities which are there. But in the custom thing, you you can either add or you can delete also. So understand the relationships. So tables basically represents the relationships represent the way that the tables are connected. So there can be there are two types of relationships, one to many and many to many relationship. In one to many, this is also known as parent child relationship. So example is an invoice. So the invoice is actually a parent table, and the child rows are like many line items. The child rows are like, we can have many line items, right, in an invoice. So these are the child rows, and the invoice itself is a parent table. So this is the example of this one to many. And coming to the many to many relationship. So example you can see here, a contact can attend multiple events, and an event can have multiple contacts to attend. So this is like many, each and this is how, these are the different ways of relationship between the tables. One to many means this is similar to parent child relationship, and many to many means a table can have relationship with many other tables, and many and the same, like a table, same, the other table also can have relationship with all other tables. So this is like kind of the example is like a contact can attend multiple events, and an event can have multiple many contacts attend. So coming to this business rules allows for the application of business logic at the data layer instead of the app layer. Usually defined for the table and apply to all forms, but can also be defined for a specific model driven form. Examples of business rule uses like set column values, clear column values, validate data, and show error messages. Okay, actually, yeah, I would like to take some doubts. If you have any doubts, you can raise your hand now, and then we can continue. Please raise your hand if you have any doubts. Yeah, if you have any doubts, please raise your hand.
Is the standard table you mentioned, is it like in traditional DBMS there will be a system tables which we can't access? Is it like that, or that's also holding relevant business rules, or it's about holding the application, the Power Platform related data?
Yeah, Adarsh, would you like to answer this?
Yeah, so so the standard table here would refer to any general table that we have in database, right? So, and yeah, so we are not talking about backend data or what we call as metadata. It can store the information relevant to application or the business that we are creating application.
Okay, but it is mentioned that the standard tables are not editable, while the custom tables can be. So why is that? Is it the source of truth being maintained? Is it some rule, something like that?
Yeah, so I mean, with editable, I understand that the schema of the tables are not edited, cannot be edited, right? So there are some standard tables. Standard table meaning tables which generally would suffice general normal business conditions, right? But I'm looking at a service that is very specific to very specific job, right? So in that case, I won't be having a table that is standard. I might have columns that are not there in a standard table. So in that case, I'll have to create the columns from the scratch, right? So for that, I'll create tables which I feel are important to the data that I'm saving, and also not save redundancies, right? The standard table have a fixed schema where I can edit the data, but not the schema. So editing is referring to that part.
Okay, I mean the columns are not edited. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Anusha, give me a minute.
Hello, sir. So
Yes.
here the business rule is, I mean, we are saying that the application of business logic at the data layer instead of app layer. So it means that the business logic will be applicable at the, if we compare it with MVC, it will be applicable at the model layer. Is it so?
Yeah. So see, business logic is related to controller.
Yes, sir.
Right? And the business rules are what we can say are a set of rules that we define that will happen based on changes in data.
Yes, sir.
Right? So for example, if I had an entry in the database, how that entry is reflected or what actions happen after that entry will be set in business rules.
Yes, sir.
Right? So that's what business rules are. And then there is environment. So what environment does is it sets rule on the application layer. So what we have here, the data layer instead of app layer, right? So data layer is is where the manipulation of data layer is where we employ a business rule, and manipulation of app in general sense, like change of schema. So this is a very big thing, right? Changing a schema of a table,
Yes,
adding a new table. So that happens at the app level. So there we need to make these changes at the environment of the table, of the app.
Okay, sir. Okay. Understood.
So business rules are like minute changes or minute if conditions, I would say, right? The if conditions that would happen when when something happens in the table or something happens with the data in the table.
So it is basically based on the data which we modify that based on the data, but in the app layer it is totally based on like modifying the schema, like changing the whole model of the app, if to say so.
Not only that, along with that we can add a new controller or new functionality. So that is actually changing the business logic of your application, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay. Rohan.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I wanted to just quickly ask about the study material, which and like, but ma'am has posted that we'll get a PDF after that. But yeah, that was my entire time.
Yeah, so you'll be getting the slides that we are taking here in the workshop, right? Along with that, probably you have also the access of the course that is there on the Microsoft. Okay, let me confirm that with the team if how is that accessible, and this session is anyway as a recording will be available too. Right, but something that that acts as a proper resource would be the actual course, the study material that Microsoft by itself provides, right? So and just let me confirm how is that accessible to you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, now I can mute myself.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any additional doubts, I'll post in group. If
Sure.
like, yeah. Thank you.
Sharat Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, sir. The question I have is like when we compare it with a traditional relational database, right? Like SQL Server or something of that sort. Normally, we'll go about modeling, like we'll come up with a physical data model and your entity relationship diagrams. Then you go and actually build, right? So when we compare this with the Dataverse to that, what are the key differences? Like, what are we saving time?
Okay, so see, so when we talk about relationships in general, we are talking about a relational database. There we define the schema, we define the relationship with the help of entity relationship diagram, as you mentioned, right? Dataverse, everything which I said is a part of Dataverse. All right. Along with that, it also gives you connectors to different databases. All right. So it's not only specific to a particular database, right? Secondly, also not specific to the type of database. It can be non-relational also. All right. Apart from that, it also provides services that connects your data with the application and thereby with the flow of the application. Right. So we create application, we associate data with it, but we also define how this application flow will happen, right? Which is one of the part of Power Automate. Okay, so Dataverse also helps in enabling Power Automate or having that feature of automating certain parts of application. So probably on the broader sense, it has all the features of a relational database along with the additional functionalities. Right. That is the reason we see there are 5 layers to it. One is data. Okay. Apart from that, then there is storage of data and integration of data. And on the below 2 layers, there are the application and APIs. So yeah, this is the one, right? So in the middle layer, if you see, there is data. Okay, so we are now looking at any data for that matter. And if you see in the storage, there are things like files, blobs, semi-structured data, right? So we are not relational databases. So everything is there. Okay, and in the integration now this integration allows to connect with. I mean, your application can have features that are taking some functionality or some data from a relational database, whereas some functionality or some data from a non-relational database. So that integrity needs to be maintained. That is again done by Dataverse.
Got it. Thank you, sir. One final question. So when we consider an enterprise level, where they are implementing this, and if we need to take data from their data warehouse, let's say, where the data volume is so huge, so will that data be duplicated within the Power Platform, or the data just need to live in an external database? We don't need to replicate that or duplicate that data within the Power Platform.
I'm not really sure about that, but the thing is, what I feel is we are having services for each, right? We are having services for data, we are having services how they get stored. So even if you can see there is data lake, right? So data lake is nothing but a dump of large amount of data. So if that is there, why to disturb the application and make changes there? Rather directly distribute data from there. If at all we want to take it, some other thing has to take data from there.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so there is this component of data export also, right? So yeah, everything is there. If you see in the integration, so there is data export. Right. Does that answer your question? Okay, any other questions regarding this much part of the course? Okay. Yes, Rajat.
Sir, could we have multiple databases in the Dataverse?
Yeah, definitely. You see the storage part, right? How many
Yes,
types
yes.
of data you're seeing?
The storage part, yeah, relation databases and files, and okay.
Right. So
So
the
we can,
relational database is a relational database, but files and blobs are not non-relational databases, right? And then there is semi-structured database. So every component of data that we studied in Microsoft Data Fundamentals can basically can potentially be a part of Dataverse.
but what about if we have like different RDBMS databases in the Dataverse itself?
So why not? Why? What is the issue?
Won't it affect the data integrity of part of that?
That is the reason we are having these things, right? Eventing, webhooks. So basically, the data remains independent of application, right? We are not focusing on a particular database on retrieving data,
Okay,
right?
okay.
What will happen? We will create model that will retrieve data. That integration will be done within the model and the data. So it doesn't matter. So here I'm telling the term data, not any particular data. Can be anything.
Okay, even we can have JSON files and all of that in
Right.
it.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, okay.
So when we have databases like MongoDB, the values are stored as a JSON. Right.
Yes, yes.
MongoDB is a part of data fundamentals that we learn. So yeah, it can be.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Or shall we move forward? Looks fine. All right. Nalini, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Adarsh. Yeah, coming to the environments part in Dataverse. So environments are used to store, manage, and share your organization's business data, apps, and flows in Microsoft Power Platform. So each environment allows you to provision on one database for use within that environment. So Dataverse environments allow you to manage your access, security settings, and storage that is associated with the database. So each environment is created under Microsoft Azure Active Directory, Azure AD tenant, and its resources can only be accessed by users within that tenant. An environment is also bound to a geographic location like the United States. When you create Dataverse database in an environment, that database is created within that data centers in that geographic location. So admins, coming to the admin center, Microsoft Power Platform admin center, most of the administration settings that you will need are available in the Microsoft Power Apps admin center. You should always check for the administration settings as your first step when you are looking for to administer Dataverse. Settings are grouped into the following broad categories and are accessible by selecting the link on see these are like by these are accessible by selecting the links which are there on the left hand side of the portal as shown in the following figure. Actually, you can go to this site. I will yeah, the link will be provided actually on which site the site to visit this Microsoft Power Platform Data Admin Center. So by going to into the slides and providing the credentials, you will be able to see the different tabs where you can change the settings also, and you can see all the settings are grouped into the like following broad categories. Analytics is there here, and Dataverse, Power Automate, Power Apps, all the things are there here in the left side, where you will be able to see the settings of those in the this administration center admin center. So the link will be given, but yeah, in the labs I think you will be able to do this if there is provision for this. So there are like you can see there are like environments, analytics, resources and data integration and data policies, where you can able to see all this in the my Power Platform admin center, where you can see those policies, and also yeah, you can set some of them if required. Yeah. So this is the end of this module. I think, yeah, you can ask any doubts if you have regarding this module, and if not, we can move on to the other parts. From the previous module also, you can ask from this or previous module. If you have any doubts, please ask. If not, we can continue.
Ma'am, how about the wireframing and styling in Power Apps? How do we do that? Like, what's the alternative for HTML and CSS that we use for a conventional web app?
Yeah, Adarsh, would you like to answer this?
All right. So wireframing, as far as wireframing is concerned, I would not need any. I mean, I can do that without deciding the way I want to go, right? Whether it can be code based or no code, right? So that wireframing I can do. As far as Power Apps by itself is concerned, I don't think there is a possibility to do that, because there are independent tools, right? There are explicit tools who which allow us to do wireframing. Okay, and the thing is about the styling, there is some limitations to styling, because what are we doing here when Power Apps? We are dragging and dropping the components, right? So when we drag the components, they have their predefined shapes. Like this, they cannot be very basic HTML, but to some extent, the some styling is there, just as we use in Bootstrap. So Bootstrap has its own styling, although we can use uh, very in-depth templates and make the design very aesthetic. But here we are talking about components, right? So components dragging and drop, being dragged and dropped from the toolbar to the application. There is not much styling associated to it, but here the idea is to not, to bring the business logic into place and make that thing easier rather than going into styling. And wireframe, as I mentioned, you can do it in any third party tool and work on that. Right. So, I mean, when we work on code-based application and use frameworks like Flask and all for creating code-based applications, we use things like Excalidraw or other wireframe-based tools, Lucidchart. All these things are there which allow us to create quite intuitive wireframe. Right. So that is one thing. Is there anything you want to ask?
No, I think that explains it. But there is a possibility for styling. However, it's limited. It's not as we'll get with the conventional.
Yeah, that's what.
CSS.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And again, if you want to apply CSS, so there's no code. Where will you apply? Right. That is the thing.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So as far as styling is concerned, it's not very basic, just like normal HTML file, but it will be intuitive, or it will be aesthetic to some extent.
Yeah, got it. Got it. I also heard a tool called FAQs, something that where you can do the styling using XY coordinates and somehow apply that to your Power App. But I'm not sure of that. Figma, yeah, right.
Yeah, Figma is anyway there. Figma, I mean, if you even when you open the Power App dashboard also, you will see tools like Figma and all. So they generally help you in adding this styling, right? So as I mentioned, Bootstrap, it has its own basic styling, which in most cases is sufficient to create an application, right? But there are again this component of templates which you download and directly use them, which are pretty aesthetic in style.
Okay, yeah, that will cover. Okay, got it.
Okay. Manan?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Sir, in the admin dashboard, I wanted to know, since Power Apps are running on a cloud platform, is there a way we can control the resources that we are using? So we go out of our budget or a certain price limit, or we have to casually, cautiously monitor our resources using?
Both, right? So one thing is it largely depends on what functionality you want to bring with that app, right? So
Yes, sir.
there are certain basic things, for example, connection with database, okay, creating and setting up that environment, which is required for doesn't matter what app it is. Okay, so the basic pricing for that is required anyway. But so if these are the required things, you cannot do anything for that. So these things have to be used, but these are like one-time investment, right? So you don't set up environment every time you open the application or users open the application. It's one place where you where this works, right? So that is one thing. Second thing, when you go on and build up on the data, so the scalability comes into picture, right? So
Yes, sir.
when there is something when you want to use resources and you want to scale up your application, definitely you'll have to take up resources that are more powerful, right? But but now that the question statement, for example, the question statement is such that you won't ever need scaling. So why to go with very high level databases or high level services?
Yes,
So
sir.
this is a what we call optimization that you do during the development phase, where you select certain tools which you know that you will require later. So the scaling is done for that. The scale up is already done for that, right? And then
Yes,
later
sir.
on, when you decide for certain things needs to be incorporated more, then scaling out is done. And then there are certain features which do not require scaling at all. So you can think on, is there a way I can reduce the cost, right? These applications and the services provided are anyway low cost. Okay, this is one major advantage that Power Apps have on conventional applications, because every time, every now and then, when there is a change, there is something added, something scaled up in the application, I'll have to go to developers, which will definitely cost me, right? But in
Yes, sir.
application Power Apps development, we have resources with us, and we are so the sole developer, right? Not the sole developer probably, but we have certain contribution and development, and we can decide on that.
Yes, sir, because since we are using Power Apps, Microsoft will definitely want us to use Azure cloud databases. So
Right.
I wanted to know, since we have to use Azure cloud database, and if I have a Power App and then suddenly a large amount of people are visiting my app, so traffic will increase and it will consuming more resources. So can I put a limit on those resources, since if I'm using a database, and if large number of people are using it, my database might cost me a lot of money that I'm not prepared for it. It might be a test environment and I am not ready to pay for that much amount of money. So I can just limit how much resources the cloud will convert, or the Dataverse, if I can control it from this Power Apps platform, that how much resources should be allocated to this app, so my app will not consume more resources than needed.
Yeah, so that is something that you do. And as I said, right, what you need to do is, while creating the application, there is a tech stack that we need to define, right? And that tech stack, in this case, in this case where we are directly using the services, are nothing but services by themselves, right? So what service provides what, and to what extent it goes, how scalable it is, does it by itself restrict users, or do I have to do that manually, is something that is decided beforehand. Right? So even when you, okay, you cannot unmute, all right. So even when you work with Microsoft Azure database, right? First thing, since it is a cloud platform, the cost is anyway low, right? They charge something, that is okay, but the cost is lower than what would have anyway costed in, the conventional application. Then what we do is we set our tech stack and the services that we want to provide initially, because everything we need to provide, right? When we are developing application, it is based on so I'm talking from a developer point of view, right? So when a developer want to develop a particular application, he or she knows to what extent I can create at this point and what I need to do later, so that I can make it scalable, right? Or what measures need to be taken so that it gets scaled to the request and resources as and when they are coming. Right. But when we are using Power Apps, the services are something that we are borrowing, right? So we need to know what are the capabilities so that we can optimize our cost. So that is one thing. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Do I need to unmute you? Okay. Yeah, Saranya.
So, in order to use these Power Apps, do I have to have knowledge about Azure?
No, you don't need to as such, but I mean, you don't need to be thorough. A basic understanding should be okay, because
So
see,
because yes, sir,
go
yes,
ahead.
sir. So
Yeah.
because sir, I didn't attend the previous workshop on the Azure cloud. So would I do I need to do some other studying about the Azure cloud to understand what's going to be taught in the next sessions in this Power BI course?
No, no, not really. See, so I mean, as the course also itself says, there is no prerequisite to this. Okay, one thing. Second thing is why we are. I mean, there is no mention that Azure Cloud will only be required as a service to Power App. right? So we saw the Dataverse, right? And then there are around 600 connectors which are made by Microsoft and also third parties.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not that if I don't know Azure, I won't be able to go ahead with the application here. I can use a third-party database or connector, which will connect me to even Google Cloud, right?
Okay.
So that is the thing.
Okay, sir. That's all, sir.
Sharath?
Sir, the question that I have now is, if we consider an enterprise, usually there is a tenant, right? And when we build the app, it can be exposed to anybody within that tenant. Is there a way to publish it for the public domain, so the general public, for anonymous logins? Is that possible?
What is doable exactly? Anonymous logins?
Yeah, like can you create a public facing website using Power Apps?
Yeah, definitely. So see, there are three major ways in creating applications, right? So, or probably there are three ways of creating an application. One is the Canvas app. Okay. Second is model driven app, and third is portal app. So portal apps are nothing but the public facing websites. So that is possible.
So if from a security perspective also, it's not a constraint?
No, because not really, because I mean in the previous slides you may have seen there is something called as compliance and security. Okay, so we make I mean the developers have to make sure then what is the access control and what features will be accessible to general public.
Yeah, the endpoints are secured, so like again it's Microsoft, so we don't need to worry too much, right?
That's right. Microsoft itself says that leverage the security of Microsoft with Power Apps, right? So that's what.
Yeah. And sir, you talked about a Canvas app and a model-driven app. So I assume for a Canvas app, you don't need to even use Dataverse. You can just simply create a Is that what Canvas app mean?
Canvas app basically means starting from the scratch. So it's like creating your wireframe and then creating the app, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so that is one thing. Just add some features and work with it. Then your application, once ready, can be data driven. So therefore, we say it is a model based app. And there are other differences also. Initially, when you create a Canvas app, you need to specify what will be the form factor of application, meaning what device it will be used. Okay, that is not the case with model driven app. So these I am also telling these development process in terms of their complexity. One is Canvas app, which is probably most basic way of creating an application. Then model driven, which has this things like responsiveness to form factor of screens. Secondly, they are showing data, they are showing or representing data, and for that they are connected to the database. That's why we call them model driven, right? And third one is basic web, not the basic, but the website which can be probably called as portals, right? Therefore, we call it as portal based app. So we'll be seeing two of them, Canvas app and model driven app, in probably in the part of lab also. We're planning to do that probably tomorrow's session.
Okay, and sir, if we consider a tenant for an enterprise, there will be all employees mostly in that living in that tenant, right? And maybe I'm creating an app that is only for managers in the tenant. We can restrict, right, the access to only a certain number of users within the tenant into an app.
I mean, functionally, if it provides that, I need to see. Okay, but logically, if you want to do that, let's add a new column to the users, all right, and differentiate them based on their roles.
Okay.
Right. So you can differentiate them as employees or managers or that, and then provide access.
Got it. Got it. It will be SSO, right? Single sign-on.
Right. And how will we provide how will we provide access to this data that is changing with the rows of table with the help of business rules, right?
Got it. Okay.
So I had also talked about business rules some time before, which changes the changes the access or certain things in the application based on the type of data, right? So we will
Be-
leverage that column and what type of employee it is, or what type of user of that application it is, and then change the dashboard accordingly. So probably, indirectly, it is access control based on business rule.
Got it. Like basically, we can create a role using that concept, and
Right.
you can
Yeah. Yeah.
add the users into it.
Right.
Which is little different. Conventionally, when we create an app, you'll have your Active Directory groups or something. That's what probably you use, and then using the LDAP groups. That's how you define your roles. But this is kind of different, right? Within the DB itself, you can define roles.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, the thing is, it's about the business logic, right? And there can be multiple ways of attaining same thing, especially in coding based things or things that are related to computer science, right? So there can be multiple ways of doing the same thing. And what we discuss now is probably a different approach than what you are stating.
Okay. Now I was trying to figure out what's the best approach while using Power Apps.
Best approach, there is no best approach as such. The approach that suits the organization and business best is the best approach.
yeah, right.
Okay. Okay, so is your doubt clear? I mean, your hand is still raised, that's why I was.
Oh, I'll lower it. I'll mute myself.
Okay, any other query? Yes, Saran.
So this is just a general query regarding the entire course. So, sir, how is the course going to be going to be conducted? Like after the course is completed, do we have to do a project related to this, or just prepare for the exam and give that exam?
At this point, you can go ahead with the exam, right? So that will be the first thing that you should do. Second thing is, I mean, just as we did in the last workshop, I probably did not get that response, but what we did was we created practice assignments on Power BI. Okay, and that was communicated through the communities that we are creating on this, right? Whenever workshop is taken. So that is something that we do it from our side, but the preliminary thing needs to be done is the exam.
Okay, sir. And sir, if someone is not able to clear the certification exam, what's the process for that to reattempt?
Okay, Nikita, are you there? Would you like to answer on that? So this is more of an
Yes.
operational thing, therefore.
So the vouchers that will provide to you for writing the Pearson VUE exams, so those will be available only to you to write it once. So
okay.
I would say, like, once you go for the exam, once you register book your slot for the exam, just be prepared, because if you fail, then later on we will not be able to give you another voucher. Okay. Yeah. So only one voucher will be provided.
Only one voucher, okay, ma'am.
Yeah, that will be free. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. And you will also be guiding through us to how to use that portal to give the exam and stuff. Will that also be discussed during this course, or?
Yes, that will be discussed. So today, what I will do is, after this workshop, we will share with you one slide. So just go through it today, and tomorrow in the session, once tomorrow's workshop gets over, we'll just walk you through the process and what you have to do.
Okay,
Is
ma'am.
that all right? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We'll do it tomorrow in the workshop.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, the cost for the voucher, I'm not really sure right now, but once you put the voucher and without applying for the discount, you will get to see the real price. I think it's somewhere around 1K. It's 3K. I think for foundation it is around 1K, and advanced it is some 3 to 4K. I'm not sure, it may be 3K. Okay.
Okay. Dripto?
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So about the lab, we were given access to a lab that about Power Platform, but that expired 2 days back. Is it the same lab that we were talking about? The deadline was 28th February.
No, so the deadline for that is actually well ahead of this workshop. Should be able to do it by around 12-13 of March.
Oh, are you talking about the self-paced course that we had shared the keys with?
The key, yes, exactly.
Self-paced
That
course.
was
So, did you finish that the self-paced course? No, right?
yes, I did.
You did?
I did,
Okay,
but let's
okay.
say I want to like go through the lab once again.
Okay.
Is that allowed during the workshop?
So that one we had to extend it further, but since you have not finished in that duration, will that key cannot be used. So whatever key
I
will
had
provide
finished.
you,
I had finished it,
you
but
had
I'm
finished the
saying
lab.
that can I access it once more,
Okay.
or is there some kind of other lab
So did you
that we were
try
talking?
using that key, Rupto?
Yes, I did use the
Is
keys
it
that
is
were
it
given.
is it working now?
Um,
I think
that
that will not work for you now. Because
okay.
yeah. So I will provide you one key like after the session. So that can be used for you to see the labs.
Okay. So just to be clear, the lab that we are going to do during the workshop or for the workshop, that is different from the self-paced one.
No, it is same one. It is same one.
Okay, it is same one.
It is the same one. So if you've already done it, maybe you don't even have to do this again. You can just go ahead and write the exam.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Fine, that's it. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
And it was a really nice lab.
Yeah, that was a good course. Okay. Okay, there's one question on the training keys. The training keys have not been provided yet. So as others said, the labs will start from tomorrow. So we'll send you the training keys tomorrow. We'll send you after this workshop itself. We'll send you the training keys so that can be used in the tomorrow session. Saranya, the training keys will be used to access the labs. So we haven't sent it yet. So you will get it after this workshop, after today's session.
So the duration for which we have opened the course is, I guess, till
12th of March.
Yeah, but the thing is, what happens is when you open the lab, you also have to stay active. I mean, visit the lab regularly, and it is advisable to do it twice a week, right? So what happens is after 7 days or 8 days, what happens the record or whatever progress you're doing will be lost if you don't visit, right? So we advise you to do it within three. I mean, not the entire lab within 3 days, but you keep on visiting it and then back. So it is probably the lab is around 16 hours content. I'm not sure how to go. I mean how it is taking the time. But the thing is, what we need to do is just enter the lab, do something, go back, right, and then visit within 7 days, so that your progress remains with the lab. That is one thing that is advised. Okay. Anisha?
Hello, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, I haven't attended the last two workshops done on this Power BI. So this is my first workshop I'm attending. So will I be able to like write the exam based on this, or what extra content should I go through?
Yeah, you should be able to do the exam on this because see, Power BI is an independent module. So Power BI by itself, it is a course also, right? Which is a part, which is one of the learning path of the previous workshop that we had taken, and is one of the component of this course, right? So anyway, we'll be going into, I mean, sufficient details of it for you to understand the course and do the exam.
Okay, so you were mentioning some practice lab, no sir. So it will be like valid only till March 12. That is what you have mentioned like before, like sometime before. So like that is for hands-on training purpose for us to write the exam, is it?
No, it was probably the extended study material or practice material. So I'm talking about the one that we have given on the community, right? So the community was created. So just as you have a community for PL 900, there was a community created similar for the previous workshop that had happened, right? And since Power BI was one of the part of it, we had extended one or two practice assignments, which was self-paced. Students can, and there was no specific problem statement to that. Just a brief problem statement where they can go and explore Power BI desktop, right?
Okay.
That has nothing to do with this course.
So
Okay.
basically, whatever I'm learning in this 3 days workshop will be enough for me to write the exam.
Yes, yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So there it was a part of course, the learning path. Here it is a component of Power Platform, right? So it is probably taken in more details in this course than in that course.
Okay, understood, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Sharat? Oh, wait.
I'm sorry, regarding the general structure of the whole process. So what I understood from the email, there are 3 workshops, one today, tomorrow, and the day after. So what's next, and can you brief me on the entire structure, what we need to do, what we need to achieve by what time until the certification?
Yeah, so these 3-day workshop will, I mean, tomorrow we'll go into more practical part of it, right? Creating the canvas app, as I mentioned before. Then there are other components, right, which were only discussed superficially, like Power Automate and model-driven applications. So that we'll see in the course of these 2 days, and the final part will end this workshop with the final component of Power Platform, that is Power Platform virtual agents, right? So we won't be going into much practical aspect of it, but we'll be dealing it theoretically. That is one thing that we are planning. And about the course, sorry, about the exam, you have to register for the exam. You will get the voucher and give the exam based on the preparation that you do from this workshop and the study material that will be providing you after this.
Okay, so one other thing that we got was we joined a group in Teams, Microsoft Teams.
Right.
So I think that's where probably we'll collaborate. So the 3 sessions is gonna end by Sunday, and there will be a lab that will be available for us to learn further, right? And what if we need to some collaboration? Will there be additional doubt clearing sessions, or with you or any faculty?
So you can clear your doubt on communities, right? That will be one way of doing it. As far as sessions are concerned, I'm not really sure. We hadn't planned anything on that. But I mean, the labs that we are doing here will be the same that you will be doing, right? And there is a very good explanation that is given for the lab, which I myself will be following, right? The steps that are there, and I mean, you can open once you get the training key, just open and see. You can even start doing that. And what happens is there is a stepwise procedure that you need to follow. I'll be just following that and giving you some additional understanding on that, right? So that will be sufficient enough for the lab part. Okay, as far as the course is concerned, you can go to the textual content, the slides, this session, you can refer, the recordings will be available. and I think that should be sufficient for the exam.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. Yes, Lakshminanda.
Yeah, am I audible clearly?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, so what is the last date to attempt the Pearson View certification exam for this PL 900?
Last date, Nikita?
So you have to do it within a month. So I would say by the end of March, you should be able to do it.
Yeah, so what happened was like in the last December, there was a workshop for Azure, right? So I just just finished the AZ 900 like a few days back. Like I had a lot of trouble.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so
Yeah,
so
if you
like
had mentioned
I
you
had
have
a lot of trouble with the network. Like it was asking 6 Mbps and I had like 4.8. Like somehow I managed like to get
Okay.
the
Oh,
so
you had network issues.
yeah, so on 16 March I'm installing a like fiber connection. So I think by like 20 or something I'll be getting the connection in my house. So I think
You can write it at the end of March. That should not be an issue.
okay, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. And regarding to what others shared before, just adding something to it. So we are also planning to have some sessions in between with the students who have done this course before. So in between, if you need any help, we can have one session, or you can also put it in the community where you can get help from your peers and get your doubts cleared there. Also, Nalini, is there anything else you had left to discuss? Because students have been asking.
Actually, yeah, something is left, but it takes more than 10 minutes. Yeah. Should I continue that or should we take the doubts? This doubts.
Like if they have no doubts, then maybe you can continue.
Yeah, if they have no doubts, I can continue for 10 more minutes. Yeah.
Mahi, I will put a link in the chat box. You just click it. Just click on that link and let me know if you're able to join that community, okay? Yes, Nalini, go ahead. I will take the doubts in the chat.
Yeah, sure, Nikita. Thank you. So yeah, coming to the another module, next module, this is introduction to Power Apps. So previously we have seen, no, the Power Apps is one of the components of Microsoft Power Platforms. So coming to the Power Apps, so in this module you will learn what Power Apps is and the business value it creates, and one of the case study that Heathrow Airport, that thing also you will see that here in this module, and you will see the Power Apps in action. Like you will learn how to create Canvas app, model driven apps in this module. So basically previously it was discussed, right? Power Apps is nothing but low code, no code platform for building apps. So you can, yeah, you can build app without writing much code. This is like low code, no code platform to build your apps. So you can work with data where it lives, and there are different types of Power Apps. These are like Canvas apps, model driven apps, and portals. You will see them. Yeah, if possible, in the you can be able to build these in labs. Yeah, and you can add the artificial intelligence to your app with no code. Yeah, so you can create a model with AI builder that can predict a yes or no answer based on historical data. So coming to the Canvas app, so Canvas apps are great option when you want to build an app from blank canvas. You start by choosing the screen size, and you can choose whether you are building for app for tablet or mobile. Then you have blank screen from which you can build. So yeah, this practical part, I think in the lab, if possible, we can see. You can interact with data in your app by adding data sources and you can drag and drop various controls and add the desired functionality by writing Excel style formulas. So Canvas app provides you complete flexibility when building your apps. Okay, this is like just intro to Canvas app, like what is a Canvas app and all. And the practical part, I think in lab you might see. So coming to the model driven apps, which is one of the power apps. So model driven apps built from the data in Microsoft Dataverse. Power apps will build you a great looking, fully functional app to act upon and interact with this data. With model driven apps, there is no need to worry about choosing the app size. It is responsive, meaning it works on mobile or tablet with no extra work for you. You define the relationships, forms, views, and business rules, and more at the data layer inside the Dataverse, giving you enough control to get your business results without writing all the formulas yourself. So this is another Power Apps where app is built from data in the Microsoft Dataverse. And portals also, this also comes under the Power Apps only. Portals bring the power of no code solutions to building externally facing websites. Through the Power Apps interface, you can build an anonymous or authenticated websites that allows users to interact with data held in Dataverse. The same drag and drop experience you enjoy when building apps is available to build this rich interactive websites. Using this, you can build websites, interactive websites using the portals. So actually, what are Power Apps and what can do it for you? So security, coming to security and administration, to manage security for Power Apps, you can access admin.powerplatform.com. Yeah, that was previously shown in the slides, no, admin center. There you can access that thing, but I think you need some credentials to access. Yeah, Power Apps also has its own set of PowerShell CMDlets for app creators, administrators, and developers that allows you to automate many of the administrative duties. So using this PowerShell commands, you can also like automate many of the administrative duties. So driving business values, users can build apps with ease. So by using this Power Apps, users can build apps with ease. So Power Apps allows even the most entry-level users to reduce the paperwork, increase process efficiency, and ensure a single source of truth. So yeah, using this Power Apps, even the users can reduce the paperwork and they can build on their own apps according to the requirement. So you can add artificial intelligence to your app as well with no code. So Power Apps has democratized artificial intelligence by providing a wizard based interface for building and training your model. This unlocks the power of Azure machine learning and cognitive services without writing single line of code or creating complex machine learning models. So actually you can add artificial intelligence to your ad by using Power Apps has this feature. You can use this feature and you can add artificial intelligence to your app, which unlocks the power of Azure machine learning and cognitive services without you are not required to write any single line of code in order to do this. Currently, there are 4 available AI models with AI Builder, that is prediction, form processor, object detector, and text classification. So coming to the prediction, this model predicts whether something will happen or not based on the previous data history. More details in the following module. Okay, from processor, this model extracts the text from image like business card reader. So using the text from the image, it actually trains the model. Object detector, this model identifies the object from an uploaded image or taken photo and then provides a count of the number of object present. Text classification, coming to in this model categorizes text by its meaning, making it easier to analyze. So these are the AI models that are available, which we can add like we can use these models in our apps also. Yeah. Coming to the security and administration, to manage security of your Power Apps, you can access this site, and here you will find the options for creating. Yeah, this practical part, yeah, you can just use this credentials, and you can go to the sites, and you can just check the options which are available that you can see in the coming days. Yeah, here you will find options for creating and managing environments, monitoring licenses, work with data loss prevention policies, and managing Dataverse data integration objects. This allows you to manage the Power Apps throughout your tenant from one single place. Yeah, actually you can go to go to the site, and you can, but this requires credentials, but we'll see if in the labs you might be able to do this. In labs you might be able to. Yeah, this customer case study, I think you can see in the next module. Yeah, so from here in the next module, from here in the next day it will be taken. Yeah, till now, if you wanted to ask any doubts regarding this, you can ask regarding the Canvas app or model driven app. Yeah, I think Sharath Krishna has raised his hand.
Hello, ma'am. You mentioned it's when we build a Canvas app, it's best viewed in a tab or a mobile. So is it not a responsive
You
UI?
will have options. Basically, you will have options to choose whether it's a tablet or mobile.
What if the majority of the users is using a desktop? How do we change that setting?
Yeah, that settings, I'm not sure of that, whether we can say change or not, because they have given these options only tablet or mobile. Others, do you have any idea regarding this?
Yeah, so I mean, when we work with a Canvas app, what happens is the very first thing that we do is define the canvas, right? So canvas, defining a canvas by itself defines the size of canvas. So initially, it is said that you're creating a mobile app or tablet app, right? Although there is a there is a very minute difference between the size of mobile and then that of tablet. So the real difference will come when we are actually working with a desktop application or a mobile or tablet application, right? So when creating what we call a Canvas app, you need to define the screen size before, right? But that is not the case with what we call model-driven apps, right? So
okay.
Yeah, so if I want to extend, or if I have a mixed users, some using tabs, some using mobile phones, and other using desktop, I would rather go with model-driven apps. Right. So model driven apps is not only something that takes data into consideration, but has these abilities, responsive design and everything.
Got it. So, sir, if the majority of your users, the target audience are desktop users, the devices are desktop, then Canvas app is not a good choice for you then.
No. So you define the form factor to be desktop, and your app, Canvas app, completely will take the look of desktop.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought that setting was not available. Okay.
Initially, that's what I said, right? So, I mean, once you make that setting, it becomes fixed. Conversion is a bit difficult, right? Although we see some application that are desktop, but we see on mobile and then drag the screen here and there. So it's not that it is impossible, but it is not convenient.
So, sir, if let's say if my target audience, all the users are desktop users, then what would be the best option? A Canvas app
We
or
will
a data?
we will create a Canvas app and define it to be a desktop app. One thing, rather, or second thing is we'll create a model-driven app which is anyway responsive.
Got it. Okay. Both options will work. Are viable.
Yeah, both options will work. See, the only difference is you define the screen size, then you work on it, right? And second thing is you start working on it and then change it according to screens.
Got it.
So other way around. So, and this difference is actually the difference between a canvas and a model driven.
Got it.
Right. So we'll do the practical thing tomorrow, and probably this will be. I'll try to make these things more clear.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. More hands raised. Sharath, it was you, right? Okay. Sarvana Kumar.
Yeah, sir. Tomorrow when you give hands-on, what should we be? I mean, prepared with our workstation or laptop, whatever we have.
No, so nothing is required. See, the thing is,
Okay.
these labs actually happen on virtual machine, so no pre-installation required.
So just browser.
Right. Yeah, just browser.
Okay. Okay.
So when we actually open this app or launch this labs, they actually create an environment, and we will be able to see a virtual machine coming up, right? So everything that we do, downloading database, the data, actual data that we'll use for app, everything gets downloaded and will work with that virtual machine throughout. Right.
Okay. The timing is same, right? 6 p.m.
No, tomorrow's session is morning. It's 10 to 12.
10 to 12. Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay. Yes. Anyone else? Any other doubt? Okay, so probably this was what we had for today's session. Just go through, take the overview of the theoretical aspect of the course. Now we will start off with the practical part, right? And then for that, we will start from tomorrow and see how far it goes, right? Yeah. So Nandini, anything else you want to talk about? That is it from my side, at least.
No, nothing from my side. Yeah, practical part mostly will be covered tomorrow. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. If you have any doubts, anything like apart from technical, there will be some other doubts as well, right? You can ask those as well, like community issues or anything. Yeah, if not, yeah, we can end here.
So Shruti, you have to download the Microsoft Teams from Play Store, and then I've pasted one link. Okay, it says link expired. Did you join? Did you download the Teams? Okay, and it says link has been disabled. Okay, just hold on. I will send you another link. Just check it from that.
Okay. Yeah, Shravan Kumar, again, there's a doubt.
Sir, I'm not able to join from my laptop. I'm only able to connect to this Zoom meeting Teams community only through mobile app. How to access this?
I guess that is not possible through laptop. Community is anyway a mobile application, so you should be able to do it that way. Desktop, it's still not possible.
Okay, no, so others, the desktop version had come for Windows 11.
Okay.
So for some people it's working. If it is not working in the desktop, please use it in your mobile phone.
Yeah, at least a Zoom meeting, we should be able to use it in laptop, right?
Oh, you're saying Zoom meeting, you're not able to do it?
Yeah, because the link is not available anywhere in mail or somewhere. Only through community we get the link.
No. We have sent you the link today in the morning. We have sent you the link in the email.
Okay.
Yes.
The latest mail I got. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Okay.
Yeah. So Shruti, you're trying with laptop. No, just download it and install it in your mobile phone and then use this link that I have just pasted here. So, okay, you can use any ID that you want to join the team. Use a personal ID.
Okay. Lakshya? Lakshya?
Yes, hi ma'am. Hi sir. So I was having the same problem of not being able to join this the communities using my desktop applications, and I had been waiting for the new update which was being talked about, and I had uninstalled and installed the Teams app in my system many times, but by no avail. And right now I'm not even able to access my personal Teams chat. So
Okay, in your mobile phone.
not in my mobile phone, in the desktop. And I think it's important for us to be able to access these communities in the desktop, because there are a lot of links and there are a lot of resources
Yeah.
which are being provided, and which we should be able to exploit if we are using our desktop applications.
Right. So, but like it's still in the process, more or less. So it's not working properly, I think. For some people, it's working. I'll just check. I'm not sure right now.
Will it be possible to connect with Microsoft support team to be able to see this? Because there are 500 community members.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will note it down, and I'll just let them know that this is what we have to do, like check with, so they can have a session on that.
Yeah, we can also create a poll to see how many people are able to access it and how many are not able to, so that at the very least, by the end of the week, we will be able to sort this out for everybody.
Yeah, that should be good.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. As you said that the community version will be available for Windows 11, right? So what about other OS? Is there any chance of it coming for other operating systems?
I'm not sure about it. We'll talk with the Microsoft team, and then we'll update on this.
Okay. I had also written a feedback to the support of this community that such professional stuff would be done on laptops and big screen devices, right? So that is why it is required. So using on mobile phones, it is a little difficult. So please, if you can push it from your side.
Like we had already told last time also. So last time actually it was not even available on the desktop, the community. So this time it has been added. Maybe the work is still in progress. It should get added on other operating system also.
Okay, sure. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Shahid?
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Sir, on 17th Feb, I got the mail of training keys with a PL 900 lab. And I tried to access them, but there was some technical issue in the sense that the instruction that was given there were not exactly to the environment that was there in the virtual environment. I mean, the option that was in instruction was not exactly on environment.
Okay.
So I was not able to proceed on that. Will I be getting the training keys again?
So the training key that you got then was for the self-paced course. This is for the workshop. Nikita, you'll be getting, right?
Yes, you will be getting, Shahid. You will getting the keys. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone, anything else? Okay, I guess that should be it for today. There are no more doubts. We'll call it a day, and we'll get back tomorrow at 10 o'clock, right? Morning. Okay, fine. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks also. We'll share the slides with you and we'll share the training keys and the process to finish your certification, the slide after this. Okay. So good night all.